Good morning. I am Eugene Holden. I am one of the practitioners proudly serving the Centers for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore. And I welcome you to this morning's pre-service meditation. So if you would, to become nice and comfortable, if it's appropriate for you, go ahead and close your eyes. And now take a nice deep cleansing breath through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Again, inhale, exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. And now, breathing exclusively through the nose, bring your awareness to your breath, making sure to inhale completely and exhale fully. And as we become aware of our breath, we make sure that the breath is soft, smooth, slow, silent, and sacred. For truly the breath is sacred. Without the breath, life is a little different. But not only does the breath oxygenate the blood, a nice deep inhale and exhale massages and exercises the internal organs. The breath also reminds us that there is only this moment. For we cannot breathe for a minute from now. We cannot take a breath for 3 minutes ago. We can only breathe right now. So now we allow this breath to guide us into that inner sanctum of the Most High, into the Holy of Holies, into the throne room of the heart, wherein we find our imagination, our intuition, our memories, and it is the doorway, the gateway to our higher power. And we breathe. And so in this moment of now, we surrender, we release, we let go of all of the thoughts of the past activities of the morning. And for right now, we suspend having any thoughts of the future activities of the upcoming afternoon and evening. We let go of the thoughts of the past, we let go of the thoughts of the future, and we become present in this moment, this moment, this moment. For in this moment, life is fully lived. In this moment, all needs are met. In this moment, God is. In this moment, peace, be still, and know the I am is the God within you. Peace, be still, and know. Peace, be still. Peace, be peace. Be still. And we breathe. And so as we begin to bring ourselves back, we become keenly aware that out of the stillness, the activity of spirit is activated. And out of the silence, the word of God is spoken. And so we give great thanks for this holy communion with the One, this sacred tryst with the divine. As we bring ourselves back, we know that we can always return to the throne room of the heart, the sacred place of the Most High, the Holy of Holies, simply by setting the intention and writing on the breath. How grateful I am for this time. How grateful I am for you being passengers with me on this journey this morning in this pre-service meditation. For we have set the stage. We have laid the foundation for the most sacred of celebratory services here at Centers for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore. For this, we give thanks and we let it be. And so it is. Take a breath. Peace and blessings.
Happy New Year, everybody, from Dan and Aaron. Great to see you guys. This is a wonderful song to start the new year off with by an artist that some of you are probably too young to remember. Anyway, she was fantastic. Her name was Nina Simone. It's called Feeling Good. flying high. You know how I feel. Sun in the sky. You know how I feel. Breeze drifting by. You know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun. You know what I mean. Butterflies all having fun. You know what I mean. Sleep in peace, today is done. That's what I mean. And this old world is a new world and a bold world for me. I'm feeling good. Stars when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Good morning. Happy New Year. Woo. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore's virtual service. I am Tracy Rhymes, your host. Our spiritual director, Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson, is our speaker. Our musicians are Soulpajamas. Serving as today's practitioner who led the pre-service meditation is Eugene Holden. Assisting with making this service open, inviting, and accessible to the deaf community are our sign language interpreters, Faith Moore and Renuka Purimetla. On behalf of Reverend Dr. Ray, thank you for your service. At CSLGB, every Sunday is an invite a friend or family member Sunday. Make sure you spread the love and invite someone to service. We would love to have them hang out with us. Eugene Holden has been a student of science of mind and spirit for over 30 years and has been a licensed religious science practitioner for 15 years. For 10 years, he served the World Ministry of Prayer at Center for Spiritual Living Home Office. He also served as Home Office liaison to the Diversity Commission, serving as the trainer and facilitator. Eugene has been a well-loved contributor to the science of mind for over 13 years, inspiring lives around the world. Eugene allows vision to guide him. It is prayer that fuels him. He is deeply committed to his purpose of joyfully assisting others and remembering who and what they truly are, divine beings of light. He believes that together we can reveal the kingdom of heaven right here on earth. What is heaven? Heaven is ever expanding good.
Thank you, Tracy. Let's pray. How good it is to be witness to this awesome thing called life. I am so very grateful for this moment, for in this moment, I have the opportunity to speak this word, and the only word that I need to speak is God, the infinite intelligence that governs the universe. Yes, I know that that word God is used in different many ways. Sometimes it is known as God. Sometimes it is known as Allah. Sometimes it is known as Shango. Sometimes it is known as Yahweh. Sometimes it is known as Olodumare. Sometimes it is known as the Christ. And so we call it forth, whatever we call it forth into our conscious awareness, recognizing that it is at the very center of all of life. I recognize that God is at the very center of all that there is, from the nucleus of the atom to the expansiveness of the galaxies. All there is and ever shall be is God revealing himself in all that is seen and unseen. Everything that is known and the yet to be known, it is all God. The love intelligence that governs the universe. In the beginning, God. The Alpha, the Omega, the in between that. For there is no space where God is not. For it is the nature of the divine to permeate, to penetrate, and to fill the interspaces of the universe, meaning that the space within the space, between the space, is filled with the frequency of God. And so recognizing that God is everywhere present God is everywhere present at all times, I know that at all times, no matter where I am, God reveals his life in, through, and as the I am that I am. And As I know this to be the truth of my life, I know this to be the truth of each individualized expression tuning in here today at the service given by and provided from Centers for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore. For we are the center of spiritual living. We live in the center of the divine. And so it is in my awareness of our oneness in God that I speak this word for this day, for this time together. I name, claim, declare, and accept that this time is magnificent. This time is great. This time is marvelous. This time is fantastic. So as we step into the divinities of our beings, we allow ourselves to be that place where we allow our everyday wonder to be manifested in everything that we do, everything that we touch. We are not only wonderful, we are wonder-filled. Oh yeah, this time is great. This day is magnificent, and I give great thanks. I speak this special word now for the Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson, who continues to show up as the servant leader, dropping the knowledge upon us in ways where it trickles down into the depths of our soul so that we may grow and so that we may expand and so that we may serve, so that we may be our wonderful selves. So knowing that this word is already blessed, knowing that this prayer is already answered, I give great thanks. It is from this space of gratitude and thanksgiving that I now release my word into the awesome and dynamic action of love and law. You see, I know that as I release my word into the law with unconditional love has no choice. It must take these words. It must mold them and shape them and blend them and then send them back to us, not void, not empty, but absolutely, abundantly, and completely fulfilled, joyfully fulfilled. And so fulfilled, we allow it to be, naming that it's good, naming that it is done, and it is done well. And so it is. Amen. Whew.
Honoring the world's religions. The Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore's community, honors the diversity of all religions as represented by this ceremony. Baha'i is the path of unity and peace. Buddhism is the path of compassion and cessation of suffering. Christianity is the path of love and forgiveness. Confucianism is the path of deliberate tradition. Hinduism is the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. Islam is the path of submission to the will of God. Judaism is the path of living by sacred law. Indigenous spirituality is the path of honoring the earth and all life. Shintoism is the path of ritual, veneration of kami, and honoring nature. Taoism is the path of ultimate reality through balance. Unitarian Universalist is the path of social justice and sacred activism. science of mind and spirit is the path of awakening one's spiritual magnificence in accord with love and law. The heart. The heart represents our love for and unity with all life.
Time for announcements. We have weekly ongoing ways to study, learn, and discuss. On the first and third Monday nights, the Sacred Contract Book Club hosted by Nancy Rosenberg. The Thursday night study group facilitated by Reverend Dr. Ray. Sign up for the CSLGB newsletter, the CSLGB Facebook and Instagram pages, and get more news and information by visiting CSLGreaterBaltimore.org or .com. The CSLGB community are assembling blessing bags for the homeless and less fortunate in the Baltimore area. We are requesting and accepting donated items for the bags, donated items for the bags January 3rd through the 21st. The bags will be distributed the last week of January. If you prefer to make a monetary donation, that will be used to purchase items for the bag. The list is suggested items to donate. For more information on logistics and donation items and funds being collected, contact Robin Fahrenholt at 410-227-5765. Courageous Conversations. The CSLGB C7 Core will have group and panel discussions with Q's and A's to encourage open, honest, and authentic dialogues regarding topics such as race, gender, and being LGBTQ. The next discussion will be on January 8th at 11 a.m. If you are interested in more information about this, contact Reverend Dr. Ray. If this fundraising vision inspires you and you are interested in serving on the fundraising committee in any way possible, contact the chair, Renuka Purimetla, and come together to strategize the most effective ways to manifest funding. To get more information, meeting dates and time, and join the committee, send an email to renuka.purimetla@gmail.com. Here at CSLGB, every Sunday is a great day to choose this as your spiritual community, your spiritual family. The first step is to take the discovery class, which is offered online and can be taken at any time. Visit the website to learn more and enroll in the discovery class. The CSLGB Ministry of Education has upcoming classes. Jesus, the man, myth, Messiah, and metaphysical master and mystery. Woo! The class will explore who and what Jesus is to us today. Is he a historical person who actually lived? If so, what is the impact of this on us today? The facilitator is Reverend Dr. Ray. The class runs Wednesdays, 7 to 8:30 p.m., beginning January 26th. The investment is a love offering. If interested, contact me, Tracy Rhymes. Spiritual economics. Within each of us is an inner urge to live life to the fullest and to share that fullness with others. Spiritual economics is about cultivating a way of thinking where you realize that prosperity is accepting responsibility for your own thoughts. In this class, the focus will be on spiritual economics, which is tapping into the truth that sets us free from the problems of the human experience. Simply put, this class will change your life. The facilitator is practitioner Eugene Holden. Class begins Wednesday, January 19th, 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is an 8-week course. The investment is $270. If interested, contact Sue Monahan. For the full description and more, you are encouraged to visit the website CSLGreaterBaltimore.org or .com to find more educational opportunities in ours and other communities we are partnered with. If you would like to receive a daily text and voicemail from Reverend Dr. Ray, type JOIN 2-833-663-9021 to begin receiving your daily inspiration. You will be glad you did. All right. On the count of 3, we shout prayer works. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Prayer works. Woo! That was loud. I heard all of you. We, as a community, continue to treat and move our feet, knowing the truth for everyone around the planet. Prayer requests can be sent at any time. That's right, at any time via email to info@CSLGreaterBaltimore.org. Reverend Ray is so excited, he's still shouting prayer works because it does. Ha ha. All right. Soulpajamas started as a duo in 1999, featuring singer-songwriter Dan Johnson and jazz vocalist Aaron Johnson. Known throughout the New Thought movement, Soulpajamas' primary hearts are unity and religious science, now Center for Spiritual Living, as well The songs are empowering, positive, and sometimes spiritual, but never dogmatic or exclusive. Soul Pajamas continues to perform their original music in a duo format at New Thought Center. I give you Soul Pajamas.
Okay. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, oh, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, also on the faces of the people walking by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, ooh, what a wonderful world. Yes.
Thank you, Soul Pajamas. What a wonderful world. Now, Eugene returns to lead us in a spiritual practice.
Thank you, Tracy. So for today's spiritual practice, I am taking a reading from a book by Christian D. Larson called Your Forces and How to Use Them. When we look upon human nature in general, we may fail to see much improvement in power and worth as compared with what we believe the race has been in the past. And therefore, we conclude that humanity will continue to remain about the same upon this planet until the end of time. But when we investigate the lives of such individuals as have recently tried to apply more intelligently the greater powers within them, we come to a different conclusion. We then discover that there is evidence in thousands of human lives of a new and superior race of people, a race that will apply a much larger measure of the wonders and possibilities that exist within them. It is only a few years, not more than, at this time, a quarter of a century, since modern psychology began to proclaim the new science of human thought and action, so that we have had but a short time to demonstrate what a more intelligent application of our energies and forces can accomplish. But already, the evidence is coming in from all sources, revealing results that frequently border upon the extraordinary. Man, which is we, all of us, can do far more with ourselves and our lives than we have been doing in the past. We can call into action and successfully apply far more ability, energy, and worth more than our forefathers have dreamed of. So much has been proven during this brief introductory period of the new age. Then what greater things may we not reasonably expect when we have had 50 or 100 or more years in which to develop and apply those larger possibilities which we now know to be inherent in us all. Go forth and multiply this consciousness. Peace and blessings.
And so it is. Thank you, Eugene. All right, all right, all right. Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson is an ordained Centers for Spiritual Living minister serving the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore community as our spiritual director. He has frequently been referred to as a Renaissance man and visionary New Thought leader. Excuse me. As a lifelong learner with a passion for self-development, personal transformation, transmutation, and transfiguration, he lives his bliss as a teacher, minister, author, visual artist, ASL performing artist, mentor, father, grandfather, and more by giving people applicable tools and practices that enable them to live a more fulfilled life. Recognizing, realizing, and materializing their full divine potential. His mission is to live, move, and be an active member of society who serves to educate, elucidate, and emancipate people and communities to awaken and empower themselves. Authentic, active is an acronym that stands for authentic, compassionate, transparent, inspired, vibrant, and empowered. I give you Reverend Dr. Ray.
Namaste and greetings. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New You. Happy new recognition of your divinity. Happy, just be happy. It's a wonderful world. Be happy. So it's January again, huh? Yeah, it is January 2022. It's time to start getting used to 2022. And this month, January, we are focusing on this concept of living everyday wonder. Today, specifically, we are talking about it is in our daily life that we encounter the divine. The wonder of spirit is everywhere. We can't escape it because we are inseparable from it. It is our truest essence. When we become conscious of it, and live in our awareness of it, our daily experiences become opportunities for transformation and for our individual and collective evolution. So breathe that in, because that's a lot. Because what we are ultimately saying is we are recognizing the divine. We are recognizing God. We are recognizing spirit. We are recognizing all, whatever word we're calling it, we are recognizing it in everything. That means the ordinary, the way we typically use the word, ordinary means, something that's common, the normal, the average, something that's mediocre. Okay, so now that's the way we typically use the word. But what we are being invited to do is stretch beyond that linguistic use and recognize that every ordinary thing is extraordinary when we shift our consciousness of it and recognize that everything, every moment, it's one of the things I shared yesterday on TikTok, or the day before on TikTok, this idea that a lot of us wait for New Year's to create intentions and goals and resolutions and stuff. And that's fine. But I can do that in this next breath. Like I can do that in this next minute. Any moment becomes new when I choose for it to be new. And any practice becomes extraordinary when I choose to recognize that it is phenomenal, that it is exceptional, that every moment, everything, because it's all sacred and divine, then everything, every moment becomes exceptional. Ernest Holmes says in the Declaration of Principles, we believe that heaven is within us, right? It's within us. It's what we are. It's within us. It's our consciousness. And that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. See, it's already there. Love and joy, heaven is already present. But if I am unable to be conscious of it, to be aware of it, to recognize it, then I don't see it. I don't feel it. It's not like it's not. So my invitation is pause, breathe, recognize, shift my consciousness, shift my paradigms, shift my perception. And then I see love, I feel love, I hear love, I speak love, I write love. Heaven now becomes my regular, ordinary, my regular everyday experience. I am now living the wondrousness of heaven because I'm aware of it, I'm conscious of it. So, what does this even mean? Am I conscious of my extraness? Now, pause, because we know that there are some folks that are so extra. They're so Tracy would probably say that, in many ways, that's me. I am so extra. Like you have to go so above and beyond, so extra. Yes, but it's because I am conscious of my extraness. I am aware of my extraness. I am aware that I am extraordinary. I recognize that you are extraordinary. And what happens when we recognize this? Then we're conscious of it. And then, as Ernest Holmes said regarding heaven being within, when we are conscious of it, we experience it to that degree. If I am conscious of my extraordinary self at a 5, then I experience it at a 5. If I'm aware of it at a 50, then I experience it at a 50. If I am aware of it at a 7 trillion point, I'm putting alphabets in this one, A to the 3rd power of infinity, whatever. I don't even know what that is. Is that mathematical? I don't know. But when I elevate my awareness to that degree, then I experience it to that degree. So the invitation is, what am I being invited to see differently, to be aware of differently? When, and this idea of self-awareness, when I am conscious of my own character, personality, feelings, motives, desires, thoughts, beliefs, paradigms, etc. When I am conscious of them, then I'm able to evaluate what is life affirming and what is life denying. And that which is life denying, do it less. And that which is life affirming, do it more. How do I become more self-aware? Now, normally we refer to self-conscious as someone who's like, oh, like I got to make sure that like because I'm nervous. I'm like, hey, do I look okay? Like I'm self-conscious. But I want us to recognize that self-conscious can also be, how conscious of myself am I? Myself that has fears, or myself that has faith. Which one of these am I accessing? How conscious of these am I in order to change and shift? When I look in the mirror, what am I conscious of or aware of? Do I focus on the scar that's in the middle of my nose and become so, oh man, I wish that scar wasn't there. That scar makes me look so ugly. Oh my goodness, my gray hair. Oh my, and there's gray hairs in my eyebrows now. And and I'm starting to, is that where I go? Or am I able to look in the mirror and recognize that the eye behind the eye that sees itself is the divine, and become aware that who and what I am seeing in the mirror is simply a reflection of God? I see the greatness of my infinite potential and possibility. I see it when I look in the mirror. I'm aware of it when I see myself, when I am conscious of myself. And what did Holmes say? To the degree that I am conscious of it, to the degree that this kitten in this image is conscious that there is a lion, the truest part of him is a lion, then that kitten experiences that and lets the lion roar, lets the lion be the king of, the queen of, the individual of, ruling their own life. How aware are we at any given moment? And recognize that in this becoming aware of our character, personality, feelings, motives, desires, also be aware of your own spiritual magnificence and divine power. Recognize that you are not, nor could you ever be, an ordinary. You can't be simply an ordinary. You know, what's one of those things we say where you've heard people say, oh, she's such a plain Jane. No, there's no such thing. No one is plain. No one is ordinary. Meh. No one is, because every single one of us is the divine. Every single one of us is spiritually magnificent. Spiritual magnificence personified. Are we aware of it? Ernest Holmes also says in the Science of Mind textbook, we arrive at a consciousness of unity only in such a degree as we see that we are what we are looking for. We are looking with and looking at. So there's this idea, new year. What am I looking for? What is one of my goals? What's one of my intentions? So I'm looking for greater health. I'm looking for greater financial wealth. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm seeking to attain. Well, what you're looking for, you're looking with and you are looking at. So when I balance, when I am in Spiritual collaboration, recognizing that all of these processes, the looking at, the looking with, the looking for, are all happening simultaneously. So when Yeshua says, pray as though you are one who already has the thing you're praying for. Set the intention as though you are already in possession of that which you intend to possess. Set the goal as though you are already in possession of and experiencing the goal as already done. If my goal is to manifest $100,000 by the end of the year, then understand that set that goal, set that intention as though it already is done. Because then it changes how I move through life. It changes how I operate in my life. It changes how I think. Because I'm no longer talking about I have to reach for it, I have to go get it, I have to do. I'm speaking about it as though it already is. And that changes the energy. Right? So let's think for a moment. What are you looking for? Whatever it is in your life, what are you looking for? Are you looking for health, happiness, freedom, peace, emancipation, love, romance, bread pudding, banana bread pudding, connection, God, money? What are you looking for? I'm looking for myself. I'm looking for greater awareness of myself. Whatever it is you are looking for, you are already looking at, and you are already looking with the very thing you are looking for. So, anchor and ground. What am I looking for? What am I setting the intention? What am I asking for in prayer? What am I setting as a goal, as a benchmark? Whatever it is that I am setting as that, look at it as though I already have. Look at it as though you are already in possession of. Your amen is already set. Be steeped in the concept of and the practice of being rooted and in alignment with principle. If a home is what you are looking for, then know that it is already there. It's already in possession. It's already, the moment it is cast, it is already in the law of mind in action. It's already in God. It changes how you move now. So whatever it is, simply anchor and ground and know that you know, and then allow yourself to experience whatever that is. So there is no lack, scarcity, separation between you and it. Ground and speak about, if you want to experience greater health, talk about yourself as being already healthy. You want to be wealthy, then talk about yourself. Speak about someone. How does Bill Gates talk about money? How does Warren Buffett talk about money? How does Oprah Winfrey talk about, how does any millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, how do they present themselves and speak about? Then that's our invitation. You want to know yourself? You want to know God more deeply? Then talk about God, spirit, source, as though you already know and are in possession of and are being possessed by and are the very embodiment of, because you are. So it changes to the degree that we recognize and are aware. Ernest Holmes says, that which today seems to us to be supernatural, after it's understood, will be found to be spontaneously natural. In other words, the moment we understand what a miracle is, everything becomes miraculous. The moment we recognize what it means to be extraordinary, we recognize that in the ordinary, the extraordinary already is. Everything must be the expression of the divine, the expression of spirit, if it is understood. So our practice is to understand it more deeply, more groundedly, more personally. So there in Japan, there is the tea ceremony, and S.F. Slack says, The tea ceremony is regarded as a means of, check this out, as a means of physical, mental, and spiritual discipline. The tea ceremony, learning how to mix tea and serve tea, spiritual. The spirit of the tea ceremony is based upon the Zen principle of oneness with nature, which we would say in Science of Mind and Spirit, based upon the principle of oneness with and oneness as God. There is only one life, and that life is God. There is only one mind, and that mind is God. The tea ceremony would be based upon being steeped in that principle. Followers, those who practice the tea ceremony, strive to recognize real beauty in that which is plain and simple. In the simplicity of serving tea, making tea, they seek to recognize and align with and ground with oneness and nature. So in the plain and simple, whatever it is we are doing, are we willing to identify beauty, oneness, unity, and God in everyday activities? John Cage invites us by saying, we are involved in a life that passes understanding, and our highest business is our daily life. Our highest business is our daily life. Something that I shared on Facebook, if I'm not mistaken, Facebook, where I reminded folks, I reminded myself and reminded us that your life is a business, and you are the CEO, the CFO, the COO, and the GOD of that business. How do you manage? How do you operate? How do you organize all of the things that occur within that which is your highest business, your daily life? How are you stewarding your life as the excellent steward, or as the, there are a couple of things, like you get to choose. You get to choose how you are going to run your company. You get to choose how you are going to operate your company. You get to choose how you are going to perceive and live your life. An unknown Zen author says, the path to heaven passes through a teapot. Yes, this is connected back to the Japanese tea ceremony. But the idea, the path to heaven passes through a teapot. Does the path to heaven also pass through waiting at a bus stop? Does the path to heaven also pass through a meal? Does it also pass through doing service on StreamYard? Does it also pass through, right? You get my point. Does it also pass through driving to work or driving to a friend's house? The path to heaven passes through everything, always, and in all ways, to the degree that we become conscious of it. Breathe. Mary O'Malley says, from her book, What's in the Way is the Way. And she says, something very extraordinary is happening here. There are no ordinary moments in your life. There are no ordinary moments in your life. Every moment is a divine moment, a sacred moment, a holy moment. How could it be ordinary if every moment, every opportunity, every breath is sacred and holy? So, and when we say every means every. So whether that's you going to the restroom, that's not an ordinary moment. It's sacred. You walking down the street, that's sacred. Chatting with a friend, sacred. Breaking bread with a loved one or friend, sacred. Sitting in Busboys and Poets, laughing and fellowshipping, sacred. So like do the calculations and recognize that if I were to ask you how many simply in the act of speaking or signing, how many from the moment you think the word that you are aiming to say, how many muscles, tendons, bones, ligaments, atoms, molecules, how many are in motion as I raise my hand to do the sign God? How many muscles, tendons, ligaments, atoms, protons, electrons, neutrons, how many had to be engaged in order for me to say the word God? How much air is filling my lungs? How is this process? If we had to add everything up and do a calculation for it, we would be astounded at the sheer number and volume. But what do? We don't think about it that way. It's just I open my mouth and the words come out. Like it's easy to do that. But recognize that that's not a simple thing. It's a complex action. And it's a complex action because of everything that's involved. That means it is not ordinary. It's extraordinary. And in that extraordinariness of being, the divine is and always will be. So what happens when we recognize and become conscious of it? And we are then living in the wonder of every day and every moment and every action. Paulo Coelho says, it is the simple things in life that are the most extraordinary. Only wise men, only wise individuals are able to understand them. See, those who are not wise see everything, oh, that's just plain, that's just ordinary, that's just blah, 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 blah. But the wise are able to say, yeah, no, there is no simple ordinary. Nothing where God is involved is plain. Everything is miraculous. Everything is supernatural. Everything is holy now, right? There's an exercise where, and as always, if you ever want a copy of the slides, feel free to email Tracy or I, and we will make sure you get it, especially this one if you want to do the exercise. But you plot on here where you are. Now, the closer to the center means it's less. You're more constricted in that area. So if I'm more constricted in my finances, then I put a dot closer to the center because I'm constricted. I don't have enough. I'm rubbing two pennies together. You know, if I have a creative block, I have writer's block, then I put a dot closer to the center of creativity. I take life too seriously. I never play. I put the dot closer to the center. So you plot, right? You put the dots on there, and then you're like, okay, now that I've got the dots, and once again, the further away from the center, it means you are more expansive. You're breathing larger, right? It's bigger. And then you connect the dots. And then you imagine that these dots, it's a wheel. Now, when the wheel is moving, is it moving smoothly? Or is it going, let's go back for a second. Or is it going, because it's not a circle, right? There's something that's crooked. If this was the tire on your bike, like you would be bouncing because, right, you get the point. So the intention, the goal is to be more harmoniously balanced wherever that is. So where am I invited to expand my consciousness, to recognize the infiniteness of my inner life, the infiniteness of my community, my connection, the expansiveness and health and well-being of my body temple? How am I? So my circle is one, it's larger and it's more full as a circle. That's the invitation. And we breathe because, yes, we are moving into that part of service where you are asked to do some homework, some practices. First, recognizing from that wheel, do that exercise, do the living everyday wonder wheel, and journal about what you discover. What causes your wheel to go thumpity thump thump, thumpity thump thump, right? What causes your wheel to not be smooth? Breathe. And because check this out, you might have a little tiny circle and it doesn't go thump thump, but it's real small. It's like, and it rolls, but it's like a little Hot Wheel car. It goes, but it goes like not the way you want it to go. So just be mindful that it's not just the thump thump thump. It could also be because it's really tiny and small. I can barely see you, right? So be mindful of that as well. Second thing is practice increasing or improving your self-awareness by doing any number of the following things or anything else that will assist you. Practice observation. Observe your actions, observe your thinking, observe your feelings. Be in observation mode. The more self-aware you are, the more you're going to be able to shift what you want to shift. Take time for you, self-care. Take about 15 to 30 uninterrupted, no phone, no pager. Anybody uses a pager anymore? I don't know. No door knocking, nothing, no social media. 15, 30 minutes, uninterrupted, you time. Simply to be present with what you think and what you feel and whatever's going on in that time and space. Next, refrain from making excuses as to why you can't do something. Right? I can't do that because I don't have the resources. I can't do that because I'm not creative. Well, I can't do that because don't go there. Talk about, in order for me to be a professional photographer, I am intending to purchase a brand new SLR camera, right? Don't talk about being in lack of it. Set the intention to be in possession of so that you can. And then remember what you are looking for, you are looking at and looking with. So the intention is to have a camera and then speak, move, and go about your business as though you are in possession of it, so that the possession of it is the experience, right? Because it will show up. The more grounded and anchored we are, then we take the appropriate steps in order to demonstrate and manifest accordingly. Next, journal daily. Write something. Write about what you think, what you feel. Write about things that you want to shift. Journal, because it's the process of kinesthetically moving through, somatically moving through the process gives you greater awareness. It's almost like having a conversation with yourself. What'd you say? No, I'm talking to them right. Stop talking to me right now. I'm talking to them in service. So next, practice mindfulness. Be present with what you're doing while you're doing it. If you're washing dishes, wash dishes. If you're walking the dog, walk the dog. Don't walk the dog while being in the grocery store shopping, making a to-do list. Be present with the feel of the air, the smell of the grass, like whatever it is, be present with it. Ask those, here's a challenging one. Ask those who are closest to you, things that they notice about you. What are some of your strengths, quote unquote, weaknesses, quote unquote? What are some of the gifts and talents, etc., that they notice about you? And then lastly, have a conversation with 3 people about something mundane and ordinary, and then practice together, brainstorm together ways to see that whatever it is, that mundane thing as sacred, that ordinary thing as spectacular and extraordinary. Practice together. That is what we do in community. Several weeks ago, several months ago, we talked about the idea of we do not heal in isolation. We heal in community. This is that process. Engage in the process and the practice together. This week's affirmation / declaration, I'll say it first. Then if you feel in alignment with it, say it with me. I recognize the extraordinary in the ordinary. Together, I recognize the extraordinary in the ordinary. breathe, breathe, breathe. Breathe as we let that all anchor and ground, and breathe as we prepare our minds, our hearts, our bodies, our ears, our beingness for two amazing demonstrations of the extraordinary. Let's put our hearts together, let's put our minds together, and let's put our hands together and welcome back Soulpajamas. Love y'all.
Ah, Reverend Ray, that was completely delightful and wise, and your usual magnificence. Thank you. Great way to start the new year.
Extraordinary. When I was a little boy, on Sunday we would go to church, pay attention to the priest as he would read the holy word, consecrate the holy bread. Everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two, and Jesus made the water wine. And I remember feeling sad. Miracles don't happen still, but now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small, but an even better magic trick is that anything is here at all. So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. When holy water was rare at best, it barely wet my fingertips. But now I have to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down, but I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Read a questioning child's face and say it's not a testament. Well, that'd be very hard to say. See another new morning come and say it's not a sacrament. I tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood, I saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. It made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then. Everything is holy now. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down, but I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now.
As always, Soulpajamas. Put your hands together. Put your hands. Come on, y'all. Get up and dance. Come on now. They just told you. They just reminded you. Everything is holy. They didn't say everything will be holy then. They didn't say everything was holy or will be holy. They said everything is holy now. Yes, and so it is. So at this part of practice, recognizing that everything is holy now, then so is this practice of engaging in the law of circulation so that we can manifest and continue to manifest what we know this amazing community to be. So that there is the new building with all of the things that we have set the intention, created the goal, and visioned in order to demonstrate and manifest. Recognizing that what we are looking for, we are looking at, and we are looking with. And so we engage in this practice of tithing, donating, in the same way that the CSL Greater Baltimore Practitioner Corps, ha 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 ha, breathe, because this, whoo. So the practitioners of CSL Greater Baltimore, this will be the third year in a row, have set a pledge on top of their already scheduled monthly tithes and offerings, have set a pledge. The pledge for the year 2022 is that by the end of the year, the Practitioner Corps will reach $50,000, which once again is on top of their already scheduled tithing. In similar manner, the community, the matching pledge is 50,000 on top of the community's already scheduled pledge or tithing. Now, if you're new or you just want the reminder, how do I offer tithes? How do I do this? You have PayPal, text to give, the postal mail service. At this present moment, those are the three. If there's some other way that works best for you, reach out to the board treasurer, Sue Monahan, and she will do her best to coordinate and work out something with you. If you ever want information on, so what do you do with the money that comes in? One, you could always attend a board meeting because board meetings are open and public. Two, you could always ask, so how is the board of trustees? How is the money being stewarded? You can always ask. And you can always say, well, what if I wanted to divide a portion of and a portion of and a percentage of? You can also do that. So emergency care, music ministry, youth and education, like there's all kind of things you can put money in. And even though right now there may not be a youth ministry specifically, you can tithe, you can sow seeds into the creation of it. Now, here at CSL Greater Baltimore, we don't simply declare financial wealth and abundance. This declaration of wealth and abundance is wealth and abundance in our health and well-being, wealth and abundance financially, wealth and abundance in our love and relationships. It is wealth and abundance in all of the ways that we desire and deserve to experience wealth, prosperity, and abundance. And so if you are in alignment with this declaration, then I ask that you say it with me and say it with power. Ready? I joyfully, consciously, and gratefully participate in the law of circulation. I trust in the spiritual principle that says, as I sow into my beloved community, I demonstrate my awareness of standing not only in the flow, but as the flow itself. As I sow of myself, my time, my treasure, my talent, I demonstrate my support and engagement in my community's vision, mission, and purpose. I actively give as a demonstration of manifesting, of reaping the harvest of a world that works for all. And so it is. So to everyone who joined us on our first service of the year via our new platform, thank you for joining us today. Make sure you spread the word so more people can join us for future services and future events, and recognize that you are awesome. As Tracy reminded us all of last year, you are awesome. Recognize it, live it, go out and be that in demonstration. Breathe. We are at that time of service where this stream is about to come to an end, but recognize that if you want prayer with our practitioner on duty today, which is Eugene, you want prayer with him, then go to the Zoom link. And if you're not sure what that is, go to the website, www.cslgreaterbaltimore.org. Scroll down a little bit and you will see where it says to join fellowship, prayer, etc. Join the Zoom room. If you want to join us for visioning after service, also go to the Zoom room. And if you just want to come to the, Zoom room to fellowship and chat and, live it up and see faces of your community folks, go to the Zoom room as well. Now, when you get there, the first thing you do once in, type the word prayer if you're there for prayer or you want prayer. Type the word both if you want, after prayer, you want to also be involved in visioning. That way, Tracy has timing wise to know who's what and where and what we're doing. Cool? Excellent. Then we shall see you there. Looking forward to casting the vision of what we are going to manifest, create, and demonstrate, knowing once again that what we are seeking, what we are looking for, we are looking at and we are looking with. And so we anchor and ground in this awareness, recognizing this moment is beyond the ordinary. This moment is even not just extraordinary, it's extra. Live all about it. Extra. Be about principle. Extra. I am the very living demonstration of that which is spectacular. I am the living expression of that which is sacred and holy. I am the living expression of that which is the miraculousness of the universe. And what is true for me is true for everyone gathered here right now. Recognizing it, understanding that to the degree that I become conscious of it, to the degree that we become conscious of it, it is our experience. I anchor and ground and know that that experience right now is extra. That is our experience, surrendered into the law that always says yes. Knowing that because it says yes, and the law of mind and action is already acting upon this word, and every meditation, every song, everything that this service was about, that means it's already answered prayer. Extra. God got this. Knowing it is so, it is done, it is as it has been prayed, it is as it has been spoken, it is as it has been sung. Everything is holy now. It is as it has been meditated. It is all good. It is all God. And it is all right here, right now. And so it is. Namaste. Blessings. Love you. See you over in Zoom.